So my framework for all of my work is you do social work for social change, and I started alternatives the day after getting my master's, which was a combination of community organizing and administration. So this project was a great way to combine my personal framework and the educational background of I had to hire the staff and then do the initial work with staff to create the programming, and the working with it was a great lesson in people's personal stories and listening to those and making that translation to their passion to really offer young people the opportunity to be kids. That the resumes included majoring in warfare and their stories about escaping their countries, and then how do you take that experience and have a lot of so Vietnamese, Cambodian, Hmong, Lao, and ethnic Chinese young people who often who spoke English but their parents didn't. And so how do you create programming that engages them in the community? They become the translator for their families, but really important that, okay, we understand you want to be an American teen, but don't reject your parents' culture, and use this opportunity to connect with community resources. So a couple just visual stories, so to speak. One was we learned very quickly, we tried to use community resources so that young people could connect, and so the Boys and Girls Club has a swimming pool and gymnasium, and when for instance, C was the Vietnamese staff person, and when he would be there on Tuesday nights, there'd be 50, 60, 70 Vietnamese kids at the club, but they wouldn't come back on other nights. And it had partly to do with the young people's parents trusting C and knowing he was going to be at the club, and so it was safe for them to go there. So part of the whole process was how do you keep building programming and trust and connecting kids to resources. But the other visual that was probably the fun for everybody, wild time, was Uptown until recently had a skating rink, and so just visualize 300 young people who had never gone roller skating before, spending the afternoon roller skating. And so some of those just, it's important to be a kid and to have staff who help that be safe. And so that's just one example of how we worked with the young people.